Jinger Duggar admits it would scare me to see either of her daughters get married at 19. The Duggar family is known for entering into marriage at younger ages, but Jinger Duggar is hoping her children will buck family tradition. My parents, they were married at 17 and 19, which is pretty young, Jinger, 32, said on the Wednesday, February 11th episode of her eponymous podcast, referring to parents Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar. That would scare me a little bit with my own kids. Jinger and her husband, Jinger Vuolo, are parents of Felicity, Evangeline, and Finn. I think all of us siblings would probably be like 17, maybe not for a girl, Jinger said, acknowledging that Michelle, 59, was ready to get married before she turned 18. It's one of those things where you look at it afterward. Jim Bob, 60, and Michelle have been married since 1984, going on to welcome 19 children together. They raised their children to follow a courtship style of dating when entering into their own romantic relationships. Jinger, however, doesn't necessarily plan to follow suit with her
today
own kids.
we are jumping into all things
I think that the Bible's
dating apps.
clear about
One
what purity
lady
is
wrote
before
in and
marriage,
said, well, I met a
but as
married
far as
man
the
who was a
specifics,
registered sex
it's
offender
not
and an
nailed
adult
down,
content creator.
Jinger
No
exclusively
more
told
apps
Us
for
Weekly in 2023. We were taught you can't go on a date with someone without a chaperone. You know, you can't kiss before you're married, you can't hold hands, like all the rules. I don't see that in the Word of God. According to Jinger, she wants her and Vuolo's kids to be more open-minded as they grow up. I mean, sometimes things are trial and error, the people pleaser author told us. I want to equip them for life and give them the best possible lives that I can and point them to the Word of God, she continued. And then, at the end of the day, I think that they will grow and mature. I don't think that courtship is a word that we're going to use with them at all, because I don't think that that's the only way to find a spouse, or the best way, at all. Jinger, who was 22 years old when she married Vuolo, also saw some of her siblings follow in Jim Bob and Michelle's footsteps when it came to getting married young. Jinger's brother-in-law, Ben Seavold, for his part, was 19 years old at his 2014 wedding to Jinger Duggar. One reason that comes to mind is what my parents have shared is them getting married young and then having kids young and raising them. And then now we're getting married. Seavold, 30, said on Wednesday's podcast episode. The grandkids are coming, and they're still pretty young, and they still have enough energy to get out and do fun stuff with the grandkids. I think you get more of a potential with that next generation to just be more involved in their lives. As for Seavold, he was also interested in the idea to start life with Jinger, 33, as soon as possible. Jinger was 21 when they said, I do. I really wanted to start a family and just begin that aspect of my life, he stated. Jinger and Seavold are now parents of 6, welcoming their youngest baby in 2025. Jinger Duggar's Mystery Grandkids. Comment family and fan speculation. In the world of reality television, few families have generated as much long-term attention as the Duggar family. Known widely from their time on TLC's hit series, 19 Kids and Counting, and later Counting On, the family has remained in the public spotlight for years. Now, a recent comment from Jinger Duggar has sparked a new wave of curiosity, debate, and speculation among fans. The phrase that caught everyone's attention: mystery grandkids. It was a simple remark, brief, almost casual. But in a family as closely followed as the Duggars, even the smallest statement can ignite widespread discussion. So what exactly did Jinger mean, and why has this comment created such a buzz online? To understand the reaction, it's important to look at the broader context. Jinger Duggar, one of the older Duggar daughters, has gradually carved out a more independent public image over the past few years. After marrying Jinger Vuolo and relocating to Los Angeles, she began presenting a lifestyle that many fans described as noticeably different from the conservative upbringing shown on her family's television programs. Unlike some of her siblings who have remained closely aligned with the family's traditional structure in Tontitown, Jinger's move to California symbolized a shift. New environment, new community, new perspectives. During a recent public appearance and media interaction, Jinger made a passing comment referencing what she described as mystery grandkids. The wording was ambiguous. She did not provide names. She did not clarify timelines. She did not expand on whether she was speaking hypothetically, jokingly, or about something already known within the family. But ambiguity often fuels speculation. Within hours, online forums and fan pages began dissecting the phrase. Was she hinting at a pregnancy that hasn't been publicly announced? Was she referencing young siblings who may be expecting? Or was it simply a light-hearted remark taken out of context? The Duggar family is no stranger to pregnancy announcements. Over the years, multiple siblings have shared news of engagements, weddings, and babies in rapid succession. Fans have grown accustomed to counting grandchildren almost as closely as they once counted children during the family's television run. That history makes the idea of mystery grandkids particularly intriguing. Some viewers theorize that Jinger could have been speaking about private family matters. Pregnancies kept out of the public eye. In recent years, several Duggar family members have reduced their social media presence, opting for greater privacy. That shift has made fans more aware that not everything is announced immediately, or sometimes at all. Others suggested that Jinger might have been referring to future grandchildren in a general sense. In a family as large as the Duggars, it's statistically inevitable that the number of grandchildren will continue to grow. Perhaps the comment was simply acknowledging that more babies are likely on the way, even if no formal announcement has been made. Still, speculation continued. Part of the heightened attention stems from the Duggar family's evolving public narrative. Since the cancellation of their TLC shows, the family dynamic has appeared less unified in the public eye. Some siblings maintain active online platforms, while others have stepped back almost entirely. Differences in lifestyle, theology, and public engagement have become more noticeable. Jinger, in particular, has openly discussed her personal journey of faith and growth in recent interviews and writings. She has spoken about reassessing aspects of her upbringing and developing her own beliefs, separate from the strict framework shown on television. That transparency has earned her both praise and criticism. So when she makes a comment, even a brief one, audiences pay attention. The phrase mystery grandkids could also reflect a subtle commentary on privacy. In today's social media age, celebrity families often feel pressure to share every milestone publicly. However, some reality TV personalities have begun pushing back against that expectation, choosing to protect certain family developments. If that is the case here, Jinger's wording might signal a boundary, a reminder that not every detail will be broadcasted. At the same time, Duggar family followers have pointed out that several siblings are currently at life stages where pregnancy announcements would not be surprising. Engagements and marriages within the family often lead quickly to baby news. This pattern has conditioned fans to anticipate announcements, sometimes even before they happen. Online comment sections quickly filled with guesses. Some speculated about newly married siblings. Others revisited older rumours that had circulated months prior. A few even suggested that the phrase could have been playful sarcasm, a nod to how frequently the family welcomes new additions. But without clarification from Jinger herself, all of these theories remain just that, theories. It is worth noting that the Duggar family patriarch and matriarch, Jim Bob Duggar and Michelle Duggar, already have a significant number of grandchildren. Over the years, public announcements have steadily increased that count. The idea that there could be mystery additions, however, introduces a new layer of intrigue. The fan response illustrates something broader about reality television culture. When viewers spend years watching a family grow, marry, and have children on screen, they often develop a sense of personal investment. Even after the cameras stop rolling, that interest remains. In this case, a single phrase reignited that connection. Some commentators have argued that the intense reaction says more about fan culture than about Jinger's statement itself. In highly followed families, language is often magnified. A casual remark can be interpreted as coded messaging. Silence can be interpreted as confirmation. Yet Jinger has not issued a follow-up explanation. No official clarification has appeared on her verified platforms. And until such clarification is provided, the phrase continues to circulate as an open-ended question. Another factor contributing to speculation is the Duggar family's history of coordinated announcements. In previous years, multiple siblings have shared pregnancy news within close timeframes. This pattern has led fans to wonder whether there could be simultaneous developments not yet disclosed. Additionally, as some family members distance themselves from the spotlight, tracking updates becomes more challenging. Without regular television coverage or consistent social media updates from every sibling, gaps in information are inevitable. Those gaps create space for mystery. It is also possible that the term mystery grandkids was not intended to imply secrecy at all. Jinger may have been speaking humorously about how quickly the family tree continues to expand. In a family known for its size, keeping track of every addition can feel almost like a guessing game. From a media perspective, the reaction demonstrates how legacy reality TV families remain culturally relevant long after their original programs end. Even years removed from weekly broadcasts, the Duggar name still generates headlines and online discussion. As of now, there has been no confirmed announcement of additional grandchildren tied directly to Jinger's comment. No official statements from siblings have substantiated the speculation. And that uncertainty is precisely what keeps the conversation alive. Fans continue refreshing social media feeds. Commentators continue debating possible interpretations. Some believe an announcement is imminent. Others believe the phrase will fade into the background without further development. Until more information surfaces, the mystery grandkids comment remains just that, a mystery. In the ever-evolving story of the Duggar family, moments like this highlight the intersection of privacy, public curiosity, and media amplification. One brief remark can ripple outward, generating theories that stretch far beyond its original context. Whether Jinger intended to hint at future announcements, protect private family news, or simply make a light-hearted observation, the result has been renewed attention on a family that continues to fascinate viewers years after leaving primetime television. For now, fans are left waiting, watching, speculating. And in the world of reality television, sometimes the unanswered question becomes the biggest story of all. As speculation surrounding Jinger Duggar's mystery grandkids comment continues to circulate, the conversation has gradually shifted from immediate guessing to broader analysis. Fans are no longer just asking who might be expecting, they are asking why the phrase resonated so strongly in the first place. Part of the answer lies in the Duggar family's unique public history. From their earliest television appearances, milestones were rarely private. Courtships were filmed, engagements were filmed, weddings were filmed, birth announcements were filmed. Viewers were conditioned to experience these events almost in real time. When that level of access suddenly changes even slightly, audiences notice. In recent years, several Duggar siblings have adopted more selective approaches to sharing their lives. Some have limited comments, others have reduced posting frequency. A few have stepped away from social platforms almost entirely. The shift suggests a recalibration of boundaries, a desire to separate public persona from private reality. Against that backdrop, Jinger's phrase feels significant because it hints at information existing beyond public view. Whether intentional or not, it subtly acknowledges that the audience may not know everything. For long-time followers, that realization marks a cultural shift. There was a time when Duggar family updates followed a predictable rhythm. Engagement, wedding, pregnancy announcement, gender reveal, baby photos. The pattern repeated across multiple siblings, often overlapping. Fans became accustomed to tracking timelines almost like chapters in an ongoing series. But now, without a weekly television schedule anchoring updates, information arrives sporadically, sometimes through interviews, sometimes through social media, sometimes not at all. That unpredictability creates room for speculation. Another layer to consider is Jinger Duggar's evolving public voice. Over the past few years, she has increasingly positioned herself as reflective and independent. She has spoken about reevaluating aspects of her upbringing and shaping her own identity as a wife, mother, and individual. Because of this transformation, fans often interpret her comments as deliberate rather than accidental. When she speaks, many assume intention behind her words. That perception amplifies even casual remarks. It is also important to recognize the generational shift happening within the Duggar family itself. The original focus was on Jim Bob and Michelle raising 19 children. Now, attention has shifted to the second generation raising families of their own. The narrative has moved from one large household to multiple expanding households. In that sense, mystery grandkids may reflect how quickly the family tree is branching. With so many adult children now married or entering adulthood, the number of grandchildren will likely continue growing for years. Some observers suggest that the phrase could simply acknowledge how difficult it has become to track every development. When a family reaches that size, new additions may feel almost inevitable. At the same time, fans are aware that certain Duggar family events have historically been announced strategically. Timing, coordination, and media placement have often played roles in how news was shared. This history fuels curiosity about whether something might be intentionally undisclosed at the moment. Yet without confirmation, speculation remains speculative. The media landscape has also evolved significantly since the Duggar family's early television years. Today, rumors spread quickly across social platforms. A single clip can circulate globally within hours. Context can be lost. Tone can be misinterpreted. Jinger's comment may have been part of a longer conversation, potentially light-hearted or reflective. But once isolated and shared, the phrase mystery grandkids took on a life of its own. That phenomenon highlights how public figures navigate language carefully, or sometimes experience unintended amplification. For some fans, the intrigue is harmless entertainment. Guessing which sibling might announce news next has become a familiar pastime. For others, the conversation touches on deeper themes of privacy and autonomy. Should reality television families be expected to share every personal milestone indefinitely? Or is stepping back from constant disclosure a natural evolution? Jinger's life in Los Angeles with Jinger Vuolo represents a different chapter than her upbringing in Arkansas. The environment, the community, and the level of media exposure are not the same as during the height of TLC production. That geographic and cultural shift may influence how much of her extended family's life she chooses to discuss publicly. Additionally, as her own children grow older, considerations about online exposure may shape her communication choices. Many public figures have begun reassessing how much they share about their families in digital spaces. In this context, mystery grandkids could symbolize a broader commitment to discretion. Still, curiosity persists. Online communities continue analyzing clues. They revisit past interviews. They examine social media captions for subtle hints. They compare timelines of recent appearances. But as of now, there is no verified confirmation that additional Duggar grandchildren exist beyond publicly announced ones. The silence itself becomes part of the narrative. Historically, the Duggar brand thrived on transparency, or at least the appearance of it. Viewers felt invited into birthdays, holidays, and life transitions. Now the boundaries feel less defined. And perhaps that is the most significant takeaway from this moment. Whether or not mystery grandkids refers to an actual undisclosed pregnancy, the phrase underscores the family's shift from constant broadcast to selective sharing. It reflects the reality that public figures, especially those who began their fame as children, may desire more control over their narratives as adults. For Jinger Duggar, that evolution seems consistent with her recent trajectory. She has emphasized personal growth, thoughtful communication, and intentional boundaries. If the phrase was playful, It aligns with her awareness of how often the Duggar family expands. If it was serious, it aligns with a desire to keep certain matters within family circles. Until an official announcement clarifies the situation. Or until time passes without further development, the speculation will likely remain unresolved. And in many ways, that uncertainty keeps the Duggar story relevant. Reality television may have ended, but public fascination continues. A single phrase can reopen dialogue, revive fan communities, and generate headlines. For now, Mystery Grandkids stands as a reminder of how language, family legacy, and audience expectation intersect in the modern media age. Whether it leads to future baby announcements or fades into the background as a misunderstood remark, the moment illustrates how even subtle comments from well-known figures can ripple far beyond their original intent. As viewers watch and wait, one thing is clear. In families with a history as public as the Duggars, even the smallest mystery can become a headline.